For me, the goat's biggest problem is worms. You manage worms, you have managed more than 70% of goats' disease problems. Wireworm, as we call it, or homunculus. I'm not a vet, so if I make mistakes, I'm a farmer. But wireworm is that worm. They are very tiny, they're like a wire. They drink blood, and often they hit you without you knowing. They can be in the animal and doesn't look very sick, and just boom, dies. That one is, and we've seen most of the medicines we have here do not have the particular components that will really finish it off. So that's the one which they get also from the soil. It is a big problem. But wireworm, as I've said, if they have shrubs, you reduce the risk. If you don't have shrubs, don't allow them to eat, especially in the morning or even evening, around the ground, because that's when they come in. Of course, tapeworm is also a big problem. But that one, I think, that is not as deadly as wireworm. But the best way to manage worms is to learn to tell whether your animal is being affected by worms, and worm only those which are being affected. Those which are not being affected that have built immunity, allow them to continue and multiply so that you have a herd that is very immune. Because if you want to compete with worms by giving them medicine, because they will win. The best way to make money from these animals actually is to buy a male that is 100% and crossbreed with our local goats. Because you retain the benefit of immunity that our local goats have built, and you get the weight gain. But also you have the benefit of buying local females more affordably and buying the seed, the male, which is the most important one, and you serve over 30. You can use one male for 30 to 40 females. So that works very well. We have not yet developed the insemination business in goats as much as it is in cows, but when that happens, it's also good. Right now, the fastest way, buy a male, put it on your local females, just make sure those females are big, and preferably have kidded once, because the kids from these males are averaging between 3.5 to 4 kilograms. Meaning when it is being pushed out, it's too big. If the local goat is small and young, it may not produce it and you may lose your goats. But what you've asked is what we encourage people to do. It is the most commercially viable way. Because remember, the goat and the sheep in Uganda is mostly meat. And to be able to make money from meat, you must sell a lot. Now, to buy only full blood, to buy a lot is expensive. I'm not saying you can't afford it, I'm saying it's expensive. But when you buy many local females, many, and just make sure for every 30 to 40 females you have one male, then you multiply very fast. Because we have found out that the growth rate of crossbreed is actually as high, sometimes higher than the full blood. The only problem they don't have, they cannot transfer the genetics. So you cannot use the cross male at no subira that you will get the same growth rate. No, you need again a pure male. Yes.
Let's talk about because if I am now doing a story, people are waiting to see. Give us that mathematics of if I have this variety,
yes,
take it to my farm.
Yes.
What should be my expectations of earning from my farm?
Like I've told you, when you have this variety, whether you cross it or keep it pure, it will grow at least twice as faster. Meaning you go to the market faster. 2, one of these goats have been bred to produce 2 to 3 kids. It will multiply faster, but also it will have many times more the weight. Our average adult goat in this country ranges from 30 to 40. This goat becomes 30 kilograms at 3 months, maximum 4 months if you don't take care of it very well. This goat becomes 50 kilograms at 6 months, 40 to 50 grams at 6 months. Meaning, while the other farmer who has not improved theirs waits for a year and a half to 2 years to go to the market, you've been to the market twice or thrice. Now, the actual financial numbers depends on what price you're selling at. If you're selling meat, you're going to sell the normal price like any other. But you're going to sell bigger, faster. That is the number. Now, you can. That's the formula. Maybe that's how I can put it. I am assuring you can go to the market twice as faster. If the other one is going, actually, you can go to the market at 30 the time the other person goes. So if the other one is going to the market at 18 months, where you are going to be in the market, sell the same size, or even bigger at 6 to 7 months. So that is where the secret is, the growth weight and the weight gain. The growth rate rather and the weight gain. 2, the multiplication factor. These goats, as I've told you at my farm, I have 2.3. What I tell my fellow farmers, so you better, this is the opportunity where Uganda can blossom. We can supply not only enough meat for ourselves, but the whole region. If I tell you the number of emails and phone calls I receive, the Arab world don't talk about it. The demand is too much. Only in December I got an order for 100,000 meat goats to supply to Algeria. I was asked to supply 25,000 every month for 4 months. I told them the truth, I cannot. Because my country does not have those many. And that was very painful. They even said, you can come to Algeria, you visit our company. You say, I said, I don't want to do all those things. When I know I'm not going to supply you, I will come later when you have the supply. So livestock, especially small livestock like goats, it's where many people can participate and produce this meat, feed our country. But our neighbors who are very near, I sell a lot of goats to Kenya. We have an advantage to be the meat goat powerhouse in the region. Kenyans have done well in dairy, though we are catching up, but we are doing better in meat production, especially with goats. Our neighbors in Rwanda want these animals. I export to them a lot. Congo is my best market. Luckily, they pay in dollars. South Sudan. So we have an opportunity to produce for our market. We have an opportunity to also, as I said, you will quadruple your stock in 2 years. So you think about, if you put 1 million, it will be worth 4 million in 2 years. Better than any bank interest, better than any mutual fund, better than any crop, better than anything. No wonder our forefathers used to call them their banks. This does not only keep your money, it multiplies it by 4 times in 2 years. You probably can invest, if you're doing intensive care, intensive farming, 100,000 in a goat to come to 6 months. But yes, you can invest 100,000. If you're doing intensive, that means you bring the grass, bring everything. But that goat at 6 months is going to be 50 kilos. You're going to sell it 300,000. But if you are free ranging, it is probably 60,000. If they go and eat chezagala, they will grow slightly slow. They may go up to 8 months for it to sell. But again, you're still saving a lot of money, if you can say. If you are buying from us for breeding, a boar goat of 6 months is 2.5 million, a male. A female is 2 million. A doper sheep is 2.5 million, a ram. A ewe is 1.8 million. The milk goats, it is 2 million a male, 1.5, 1.6 a female. Now, I know the quick thought in people's mind is going to be, that's very expensive. And I asked them, do you grow maize and beans? They will say yes. How much do you sell the maize? 1,000. How much do you buy the seed? 10,000. Sinza goats, excellent genetics. We sell genetics, we sell seed. We are not selling to you a slaughter goat. We are not selling to you a goat to go and eat. We are selling to you a goat to go and multiply your goats faster, bigger, so that when you go to sell the meat, you go to the market faster, fetch more money quicker. That's how we do it. I've given examples of the boas and the doper sheep which we have here. The Kalahari Reds and Savannas are slightly expensive, maybe $100 more. But we are also the leading importers of livestock in the country for the last 2 years. We have helped over 200 farmers in this country to get excellent genetics. This morning, a farmer, Sharon is her name, came from Kakiri. She showed me a picture of the kids she has at her farm. Nemugambo, you've already earned your money 10 times fold. She has already, in just one kidding, with her 8 females, she already has 17 offsprings. Yes. Already she's getting a percentage higher than 200% kidding rate. And when they grow, she's going to sell them. Even if she sold no more price, the money she invested will come out.
No price of 250.
250, 300. Yeah, 250, 300. But our goat at 6 months cannot go for 150, 200 because it already has 50 kilograms. This one, which are 200, 150, they have 13, 15, 17, 20. When you slaughter the goat, you get 8 kilograms. You know it. You slaughter goat. We know it. But tell me how many kilograms you can get from this. But I don't want you to wait this long. You slaughter at 6 months. It will be 40, 50 kilograms, you get 20 kilograms. You are double the normal weight that somebody, and it is tender, it is juicy, it is softer for barbecue, for roasting now. Funda, so many with roasted meat. But this one will be in the market. 6 months is still soft, it's still tender. And the generation we are in now, but three things. Luckily, we've been importing these goats for 2 years. So at our own farm, we are able for every 6 months to sell maybe, every 6 to 8 months, sell maybe 200 goats for breeding. But also, and maybe 100 sheep for breeding. But we have also been importing from many farmers. So I know over 200 farmers who have bought from me pure genetics, who have either crossbred or are breeding pure, that when we don't have, we can recommend them to you because we know what they have. We brought it for them. We are confident of it. That's one. But also, should you be in a hurry, we will import for you. It will be slightly expensive because of the requirements of import. We fly the animals in. They have to be inspected before. We have to pay clearing fees and all that, so to be slightly more. But so you have an opportunity to buy from us. You have an opportunity to buy from our growers whom we certify. You also have the opportunity to